Hi, my name is Dear Tiagi, and these are my 2025 AP Calculus BC FRQ predictions and tips. So as you guys must know, the exam for AP Calculus BC and AB is tomorrow. And so before that exam, I just wanted to give you guys some predictions that I had on what the FRQs might be based on information from previous years and just general guesses. Please note that these are just predictions, so I'm not 100% sure if these will be right. Frankly, some of them I really don't know. But these are my best guesses based on previous FRQ data and just my general, observations. So for FRQ1 and FRQ2, again, remember these are both calculator. And they're both 40, you get 30 minutes for both. Then for 3 to 6, these are non-calc, right? And you get 1 hour. Okay, so my first prediction for FRQ1, it's going to be a table problem. So table problems are basically problems that give you a table, right? A table of values. It might be, I don't know, maybe the first derivative, or it's usually a word problem, right? It'll give you a table of values, like so. And so what I recommend you guys study for these FRQ1 table problems, you should study, how to estimate derivatives. You should know how to do Riemann sums. Then you should know how to interpret, word problems and all that. Then NVT, IVT, and function behavior. Just anything that might go along with a table of values. All right, FRQ2, my prediction is it's going to be a particle motion problem. So for this one, study all stuff parametric related, right? You want parametrics, you want to study speed, total distance traveled, TDT, coordinate at time, and maybe acceleration or distance, the relationship between acceleration, distance, velocity, and all that. Okay, FRQ3, my prediction is it's going to be a differential equation question. Okay, so for this, study slope fields. Even though it's a digital exam, they could still give you a slope field in the booklet. You might still have to draw a slope field. So study slope fields. Study how to solve differential equations, right? How to do tangent line approximations as well. They might ask you that. How to interpret them, obviously. And yeah. Okay, FRQ4. This one I predict it's going to be a graph analysis question. So for this one, they're going to give you a graph or something. That's a bad graph. It'll be like f prime, f double prime, maybe f prime, but usually like f prime or something. And it'll ask you some basic questions about it, like the integral values, relative mins or maximums, FTC. They could ask you intervals of increasing or decreasing, points of inflection, etc. So all the applications of derivatives and integrals. So it's very similar to table problem 1, except table problem 1 is in a table format. This one's more in a graphical format. And FRQ1 should probably be a little easier. Okay, for 5, to be honest, I really don't know what 5 could be. My guess is going to be a polar question, but also be aware that could be a area question, a volume question. It could also be a arc length question, maybe. It's really nebulous what it could be, but I'm guessing polar. And so if it is polar, then you should be studying, area of polar equations, distance between curves, and obviously slope of polar equations. And for my final guess, FRQ6, this is going to be, I'm like 100, or maybe not 100, 99% sure it's going to be series. And so for series, make sure to study Maclaurin series, Maclaurin, Taylor series. Make sure to study the convergence tests and interval of convergence, right? And make sure to also study error bound when in Taylor series and alternating series. And so those are my predictions. Again, these are not 100% certain, but based on just what I've seen, this is my guesses for the FRQs. So if you guys have any questions about any of what I wrote, or if you want to study on these topics, I have videos on most of them on my channel, so be sure to check those out and make sure to subscribe because I will be going over the FRQs after the exam ends. Okay, so tips. So my basic tips for the exam, for the FRQ section of the exam, is to first of all, set your calculator in radians, right? Make sure you do that before you even start. Also in Desmos, you have to make sure you set it in radians and Desmos too. They have a little tool icon in the top. Click on that and click on radians. Make sure you're thorough and clear in your explanations. And if it's a calculator problem, so like all these, make sure that you actually show the setup. You don't have to show the whole calculator string. Just show the setup of the problem. And don't simplify your answer, okay? If it doesn't ask you, don't simplify it. You might make a mistake, get it wrong. Again, remember 3 decimal points. You want to round to that, 3 decimals. And also, obviously, make sure to check your work at the end just to see if you answered our question and made no mistakes. And those are just my basic tips for the FRQ, for the other topics. And yeah, those are my predictions for the 2025 Calculus BC FRQ section. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment down below. And be sure to subscribe because I will be going over each FRQ separately when the FRQs become public sometime on Wednesday, most likely. So be sure to stay tuned for that. And that's it. Thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Bye.